My beloved child, stop for a moment and listen carefully. Do not rush past these words. Do not treat this moment as ordinary. For I tell you the truth, I have arranged this encounter for a reason. Before you woke up today, before the sun rose over your city, before your mind began to think about your responsibilities and concerns, I already knew this moment would come. I knew you would be here. I knew your heart would need this word, and I knew there were questions hidden deep within your soul that only I could answer. My child, many things have happened recently that you do not understand. There have been delays. There have been disappointments. There have been prayers that seemed unanswered. There have been nights when you stared into the darkness, wondering if anything would ever change. You smiled in front of others while carrying burdens nobody knew about. You kept moving forward while fighting battles nobody could see. You tried to remain strong even when your heart felt exhausted. And through it all, there were moments when you wondered where I was. You asked me silently, Lord, do you see what I am facing? Do you know how difficult this has become? Do you hear my prayers? My beloved child, hear me now. I saw every tear. I heard every prayer. I watched every struggle. Not one moment escaped my attention. Not one cry went unheard. Not one battle was ignored. Even when it seemed that heaven was silent, I was working behind the scenes. Even when nothing appeared to change, I was arranging things you could not yet see. Even when you felt abandoned, I was standing closer than your next breath. My child, there is something you must understand. Just because you cannot see my hand moving does not mean I am absent. Just because you do not understand my timing does not mean I have forgotten my promises. Just because the answer has not appeared yet does not mean it is not already on its way. Many people give up moments before their breakthrough arrives. Many walk away from their blessing because they become discouraged during the waiting season. Many lose faith because they focus more on what they see than on what I have spoken. But I am calling you to something greater. I am calling you to trust me even when you cannot see the entire path. I am calling you to believe me even when circumstances appear unchanged. I am calling you to hold on to hope even when fear tries to convince you otherwise. Because what I have prepared for you is greater than what tried to stop you. The obstacles were real. The pain was real. The disappointments were real. But my power is greater than all of them. My child, there are people who counted you out. There are people who assumed you would never recover. There are people who believed your best days were behind you. There are even moments when you almost believed those lies yourself. But I tell you today that your story is not finished. I am still writing chapters that you have not yet read. I am still opening doors that you have not yet seen. I am still creating opportunities that you cannot yet imagine. The enemy wanted you to believe that everything was ending. But I say to you that a new beginning is already taking shape. What looked like an ending was often my preparation. What looked like rejection was often my protection. What looked like delay was often my divine timing. You may not understand everything now, but one day you will look back and realize that I was guiding every step. You will see how I protected you from things that would have harmed you. You will see how I redirected you toward something better. You will see how I transformed your pain into purpose. My beloved child, do not allow fear to become your guide. Fear will always show you the worst possible outcome. Fear will always exaggerate problems. Fear will always whisper lies about your future. But my voice speaks truth. My voice speaks life. My voice speaks hope. And today I am reminding you that your future is still in my hands. No mistake is bigger than my grace. No failure is bigger than my mercy. No situation is bigger than my power. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not alone. I have been walking beside you every step of the journey, even during the moments when you felt weak, even during the moments when you felt broken, even during the moments when you felt lost. I was there. and I am still here. My child, I want you to stop measuring your future by your current circumstances. Your circumstances are temporary. My promises are eternal. Your difficulties have an expiration date. My faithfulness does not. The storm may be loud, but it will not last forever. The challenge may be difficult, but it will not defeat you. The waiting season may feel long, but it is not permanent. I am leading you toward something greater. I am preparing you for something better. I am building strength within you that will serve you in the days ahead. And when the breakthrough arrives, you will recognize that everything I allowed had a purpose. Nothing was wasted. Not the tears, not the waiting, not the struggle, not the disappointment. I will use it all for your good. My beloved child, as you continue through this day, remember that I am with you. When uncertainty appears, remember that I am with you. When fear tries to speak, remember that I am with you. When challenges arise, remember that I am with you. And because I am with you, you have a reason to hope. You have a reason to keep moving forward. You have a reason to believe that better days are coming. I am not finished with your story. I am not finished with your healing. I am not finished with your restoration. I am not finished with your purpose. The chapter you are living right now is not the final chapter. Trust me. Walk with me. Listen for my voice. And watch what I will do. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, "Yes, Lord, I trust your timing," in the comments as a declaration of faith. And if these words encouraged you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. If you feel blessed by this ministry and wish to help us continue spreading God's word to people around the world, you can support the ministry through the link below. Stay with me until the end of this journey, my child, because the messages ahead will help strengthen your faith, renew your mind, and guide you closer to the life I am preparing for you. I am with you, always. My beloved child, come closer and listen carefully. There is something I need you to understand today. What you see is not the whole story. What you feel is not the final truth. What appears impossible is not beyond my power. For too long, you have been looking at your circumstances and measuring your future by what is happening around you. You have looked at closed doors and assumed the opportunity was gone. You have looked at delays and assumed the promise was lost. You have looked at obstacles and assumed the journey was over. But I tell you now, what you see with your natural eyes is only a small part of what is taking place. There is a greater reality beyond what your eyes can perceive. There is a greater work happening behind the scenes. There is a greater plan unfolding than you currently understand. My child, many of the battles you face are not truly about the circumstances in front of you. The enemy wants you to focus only on what is visible. He wants you to become discouraged by temporary situations. He wants you to believe that your setbacks define your future. He wants you to think that because things have been difficult, they will always remain difficult. But that is not the truth. The truth is that I am still working. The truth is that I am still leading. The truth is that I am still opening doors no one can shut. You may feel surrounded by problems, but you are also surrounded by my presence. You may feel overwhelmed by uncertainty, but you are also held securely in my hands. You may feel weak at times, but my strength has never diminished. My beloved child, I know there are days when your faith feels tired. There are moments when you want answers immediately. There are seasons when you wish I would explain every detail. You want to know why certain things happened. You want to know why certain prayers were delayed. You want to know why some doors closed while others never opened. But I ask you to trust me, even when you do not have all the answers. Trust is not proven when everything makes sense. Trust is proven when you continue walking with me, even when the path seems unclear. Faith grows strongest when circumstances try to challenge it. Hope shines brightest when darkness tries to surround it. And your testimony becomes most powerful when I bring you through situations that once seemed impossible. My child, Do not underestimate what I can do in a single moment. A situation that appears permanent to you can change suddenly when my hand moves. A door that has remained closed for years can open at the appointed time. A relationship that seems beyond repair can be restored. A burden that has weighed heavily upon you can be lifted. A breakthrough that feels distant can arrive unexpectedly. For nothing is impossible for me, nothing. Not your financial concerns, not your family struggles, not your emotional wounds, not your unanswered questions, not your future. I am greater than every obstacle standing before you. And I am not intimidated by the things that intimidate you. My beloved child, there are moments when you focus so much on what is missing that you forget what I have already done. You forget the prayers I have answered. You forget the dangers I protected you from. You forget the blessings I placed in your path. You forget the times when I carried you through situations you never thought you would survive. Take a moment today and remember my faithfulness. Remember my goodness. Remember my mercy. Remember the victories I have already given you. The same God who brought you through those seasons is with you now. The same God who sustained you before is sustaining you today. The same God who made a way before will make a way again. My child, some of the greatest miracles begin quietly. Not every miracle arrives with thunder. Not every breakthrough begins with dramatic signs. Sometimes I begin working in ways so small that you almost overlook them. A new thought, a new opportunity, a new connection, a new sense of peace, a new desire to keep moving forward. These small beginnings often become the foundation of great transformations. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not ignore small victories. Do not overlook small signs of progress, for I am often building something larger than you realize. What begins as a seed eventually becomes a harvest. What begins as a whisper eventually becomes a testimony. What begins as hope eventually becomes fulfillment. My beloved child, I want you to stop speaking defeat over your life. Too often you repeat the words of fear. Too often you agree with discouragement. Too often you allow negative thoughts to become your expectations. But I am calling you to speak differently. Speak life. Speak faith. Speak hope. Speak the promises I have placed within your heart. Do not let temporary circumstances become permanent beliefs. Do not allow today's struggle to define tomorrow's possibilities. The future I have prepared for you is greater than the fears trying to stop you. My child, there are blessings approaching that you cannot yet see. There are answers already moving toward you. There are opportunities being prepared. There are connections being arranged. There are lessons becoming wisdom. There are struggles becoming strength. There are tears becoming testimonies. And one day you will look back and realize that even during the difficult seasons, I was guiding every step. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. Nothing escaped my control. Even now I am working in places you cannot see. Even now I am arranging things beyond your understanding. Even now I am making a way where there seems to be no way. That is why I ask you not to quit. Do not surrender to discouragement. Do not allow disappointment to steal your expectation. Do not allow fear to become louder than my promises. Stand firm. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep moving forward. Because the story is not over. The battle is not the whole story. The struggle is not the final chapter. I am still writing your testimony. I am still building your future. I am still fulfilling my purpose for your life. And what I begin, I complete. So lift your head, strengthen your heart, and remember that I am with you, not only during the victories, not only during the celebrations, but also during the waiting, during the uncertainty, during the process. I am with you through it all. If you receive this word today, type, "God is still working in my life," in the comments below, and stay with me through every part of this journey, because the words ahead will help you strengthen your faith, overcome fear, and walk with greater confidence in the purpose I have prepared for you. Remember this truth today. The battle you see is not the whole story. I am still moving. I am still working. And I am not finished yet. My beloved child, be still before me for a moment. Take a deep breath and quiet the noise around you. Lay down your worries. Lay down your fears. Lay down the burdens you have been carrying alone. For I want to speak directly to the concerns that have been troubling your heart. I know what keeps you awake at night. I know the questions you ask when no one else is around. I know the thoughts that quietly enter your mind when the day grows silent. What will happen tomorrow? Will things ever improve? Will this struggle finally end? Will my family be okay? Will I have enough? Will my prayers be answered? My beloved child, I have heard every one of those questions. And today I want you to hear my answer. Stop fearing the future, because I am already there. Before tomorrow arrives for you, I am already present within it. Before next month begins, I am already working inside it. Before the opportunities come, before the challenges appear, before the answers unfold, I am already there preparing the way. You often worry about situations that have not happened. You create battles in your mind that do not yet exist. You spend precious energy fearing outcomes that may never come to pass. Meanwhile, I am calling you to trust me one step at a time. My child, the future is not unknown to me. Nothing catches me by surprise. No crisis shocks me. No obstacle confuses me. No circumstance overwhelms me. I see the beginning and the end. I see every detail in between. And because I see it all, you can trust me completely. There are moments when you try to carry responsibilities that were never meant for your shoulders. You try to solve problems before they happen. You try to control situations beyond your reach. You try to predict every possible outcome. But I never asked you to carry that burden. I never asked you to control the future. I never asked you to know everything. I only asked you to trust me. Trust that I know what I am doing. Trust that my plans are good. Trust that my timing is perfect. Trust that my love for you never changes. My beloved child, fear has stolen enough from you already. Fear has stolen your peace. Fear has stolen your joy. Fear has stolen your confidence. Fear has stolen precious moments that should have been filled with gratitude and hope. But today I am calling you out of fear and into faith. Faith does not mean you understand everything. Faith means you trust me even when you do not. Faith means you keep moving forward when the road is unclear. Faith means believing that I am working even when you cannot see evidence yet. My child, there are blessings ahead that fear cannot see. There are opportunities ahead that worry cannot imagine. There are miracles ahead that anxiety cannot predict. If only you could see what I see. If only you could glimpse the doors I am preparing to open. If only you could witness the breakthroughs already taking shape. You would stop worrying. You would stop doubting. You would stop fearing. You would begin thanking me for what is coming. There are people I am bringing into your life. There are lessons I am teaching you. There are strengths I am developing within you. There are answers already moving toward you. Even now, while you wait, I am working. Even now, while you wonder, I am arranging. Even now, while you question, I am preparing. Nothing is standing still. Heaven is not inactive. I am moving in ways you cannot yet see. My beloved child, I know some disappointments have made it difficult for you to trust. I know some prayers seem delayed. I know some hopes were not fulfilled the way you expected. I know some people hurt you. I know some doors closed unexpectedly. I know some dreams appeared to fall apart. But those disappointments do not define your future. One painful chapter does not determine the entire story. One delay does not cancel my promise. One setback does not remove my purpose from your life. Do not allow yesterday's pain to dictate tomorrow's expectations. Do not build your future based upon past disappointments. Build your future upon my faithfulness. Build your future upon my promises. Build your future upon my character. For I do not change. People change, circumstances change, economies change, relationships change, but I remain the same. My love remains. My power remains. My promises remain. My child, I want you to begin expecting good things again. Not because life will always be easy, not because there will never be challenges, but because I am with you. Expectation is an act of faith. Hope is an act of faith. Believing for better days is an act of faith. The enemy wants you to expect failure. I want you to expect my goodness. The enemy wants you to expect disappointment. I want you to expect my faithfulness. The enemy wants you to live in fear. I want you to live in confidence. Confidence not in yourself alone, but confidence in me. My beloved child, there is a reason I continue reminding you of these truths, because your thoughts shape your direction. What you consistently believe influences how you live. If you constantly expect defeat, you will struggle to recognize opportunities. If you constantly expect disappointment, you may overlook blessings. If you constantly focus on fear, you may miss my guidance. That is why I am renewing your mind. That is why I am strengthening your faith. That is why I am teaching you to trust me more deeply. The future before you is not empty. It is filled with possibilities. It is filled with opportunities for growth. It is filled with moments where you will witness my faithfulness. And even the challenges you face will become opportunities for my power to be revealed. My child, stop carrying tomorrow's burdens today. Tomorrow has not arrived yet. Focus on the grace I am providing right now. Focus on the strength I am giving you today. Focus on the opportunities before you in this moment. Walk with me today. Trust me today. Obey me today. And when tomorrow comes, you will discover that I am already there waiting for you. I have always been ahead of you. I have always been beside you. And I will always remain with you. So release your worries. Release your fears. Release your need to control everything. Place them into my hands. Let me carry what was never meant for you to carry. For my child, your future is secure in my hands, and my hands never fail. If this message encouraged your heart today, type, "I trust God with my future," in the comments as a declaration of faith, and continue watching until the end of this journey, because every message ahead is designed to strengthen your spirit, deepen your trust, and help you recognize my guidance in your daily life. Remember, do not fear tomorrow. I am already there. My beloved child, listen closely to me now. There is something I need you to understand about the journey you have been walking. Many of the things that wounded you were never sent to destroy you. Many of the battles that exhausted you were not the end of your story. Many of the disappointments that made you cry were not signs that I had abandoned you. What others meant to break you, I am using to build you. What others meant to stop you, I am using to strengthen you. What others meant to harm you, I am transforming into something that will serve my purpose in your life. I know there were moments when the pain felt unbearable. Moments when betrayal cut so deeply that you wondered if you would ever heal. Moments when people you trusted walked away. Moments when promises were broken. Moments when you gave your best and received rejection in return. My beloved child, I saw it all. I saw every tear you tried to hide. I saw every disappointment you carried silently. I saw every wound that nobody else noticed. And while others may have forgotten, I never forgot. Nothing escaped my attention. Nothing escaped my care. Nothing escaped my plan. The enemy wanted those experiences to make you bitter. I wanted them to make you stronger. The enemy wanted those experiences to destroy your faith. I wanted them to deepen your dependence upon me. The enemy wanted those experiences to convince you that you were defeated. I wanted them to reveal how much strength I had placed within you. My child, there are lessons that can only be learned through difficulty. There are levels of wisdom that can only be gained through experience. There are depths of faith that can only be discovered during seasons of uncertainty. You would not choose those seasons. You would not ask for those battles. But I have been using them in ways you do not yet fully understand. Even now, some of your greatest strengths were born from your greatest struggles. Your compassion grew because you experienced pain. Your patience grew because you endured waiting. Your faith grew because you walked through uncertainty. Your wisdom grew because you learned from disappointment. And your relationship with me grew because there were moments when I was the only one you could truly depend upon. My beloved child, do not allow the wounds of yesterday to become chains that limit your future. The pain happened. The betrayal happened. The disappointment happened. But those experiences do not have the authority to define your destiny. Only I have that authority. You are not defined by who left you. You are not defined by who rejected you. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by my love. You are defined by my purpose. You are defined by the identity I have given you. Too often you look back and relive painful moments. You replay conversations. You revisit disappointments. You reopen wounds that I have been trying to heal. My child, there is a difference between remembering a lesson and living inside the pain. Learn from the past, but do not live there. Grow from the experience, but do not build your identity around it. Allow me to heal what hurt you. Allow me to restore what was broken. Allow me to lead you forward, because there is more ahead of you than behind you. There is greater purpose ahead. There is greater growth ahead. There is greater blessing ahead. My child, some people misunderstood your journey because they only saw your struggles. They did not see what I was doing within you. They saw the battle. I saw the preparation. They saw the delay. I saw the development. They saw the hardship. I saw the transformation. The process may not have looked impressive from the outside, but inside, I was strengthening your character. Inside, I was preparing your heart. Inside, I was building qualities that will be needed for the future I have prepared. Do not despise the process. The process has value. The process has purpose. The process has meaning. A tree does not grow overnight. A foundation is not built instantly. A testimony is not created without a story. And the strength I am developing within you cannot be produced without growth. My beloved child, there are blessings ahead that require the version of you that is emerging now. There are responsibilities ahead that require greater wisdom. There are opportunities ahead that require greater maturity. There are assignments ahead that require deeper faith. That is why I have been preparing you, not to punish you, not to discourage you, but to equip you. Everything I allow has purpose, even when you do not understand it, even when you cannot see the outcome, even when it feels difficult. I remain at work. My child, forgive those who hurt you, not because what they did was acceptable, not because they deserve your approval, but because unforgiveness keeps you connected to the pain. And I want you free. I want your heart free. I want your mind free. I want your future free. Release what you cannot change. Place it into my hands. Trust me to handle what you cannot. Trust me to bring justice in my timing. Trust me to work all things together for good. Trust me to heal what has been wounded. You do not have to carry every burden forever. You do not have to carry every hurt forever. You do not have to carry every disappointment forever. Give them to me. Let me carry them. Let me heal them. Let me redeem them. My beloved child, one day you will look back and realize that some of your greatest blessings came disguised as setbacks. Some of your greatest lessons came disguised as losses. Some of your greatest growth came disguised as struggles. And some of the doors that closed were actually protecting you from paths that were never meant for you. You may not understand everything now, but understanding is not required for trust. Trust me anyway. Follow me anyway. Believe me anyway. Because I know where I am leading you, and where I am leading you is better than where you have been. Your future is not determined by the pain you experienced. Your future is determined by the purpose I have established. Your wounds are not your identity. Your failures are not your identity. Your disappointments are not your identity. I am your identity, and my plans for you remain alive. So lift your eyes, raise your expectations, release the past, and continue moving forward. For I am taking what was meant to break you and turning it into part of the testimony that will inspire others. The pain was real, but so is my power. The struggle was real, but so is my faithfulness. The battle was real, but so is my victory. If this word speaks to your heart today, type, "God is turning my pain into purpose," in the comments below, and continue watching until the very end of this journey, because each message ahead is designed to help you walk in greater freedom, deeper faith, stronger hope, and a closer relationship with me. Remember this truth today. What was meant to break you, I am using to build you. My beloved child, listen carefully to my voice today. There are things happening in your life right now that you do not fully understand. There are changes taking place around you that seem confusing. There are doors closing that you wanted to stay open. There are people drifting away that you thought would remain. There are plans changing that you expected would unfold differently. And because you cannot yet see the full picture, your heart has been asking questions. Lord, why is this happening? Why are things changing? Why am I losing things I worked so hard to keep? My beloved child, hear me clearly. Not every departure is a loss. Not every closed door is a punishment. Not every ending is a tragedy. Sometimes I remove things because they can no longer go where I am taking you. Sometimes I close doors because they lead away from your purpose. Sometimes I allow change because what lies ahead requires a different season. You often pray for growth. You pray for breakthrough. You pray for a better future. You pray for my will to be done. But when the process of transformation begins, it can feel uncomfortable. Because growth often requires release. Breakthrough often requires change. And new seasons often require leaving old things behind. My child, I need you to trust me during this process. I know you do not always understand what I am doing. I know some changes feel painful. I know some endings feel unfair. I know some separations leave questions in your heart. But I'm asking you to look beyond the temporary pain and trust my greater purpose. I see what you cannot see. I know what you do not know. I understand the future in ways you cannot yet understand. The people, habits, environments, and mindsets that once served a purpose in your life may not belong in the season ahead. And because I love you, I refuse to allow certain things to remain if they will hinder your growth. My beloved child, there are relationships you tried desperately to preserve. You invested time. You invested energy. You invested love. Yet despite your efforts, things changed. And you wondered why. Sometimes people leave because their assignment in your life has been completed. Sometimes distance occurs because I am redirecting your path. Sometimes separation protects you from future harm you cannot yet see. Do not assume every departure is evidence of failure. Sometimes it is evidence of my guidance. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually redirection. Sometimes what feels like loss is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like an ending is actually preparation. My child, release what I am asking you to release. Do not hold tightly to things I am removing. Do not chase what I am closing. Do not force what I am ending. Trust me enough to let go. Trust me enough to move forward. Trust me enough to believe that what I have ahead is greater than what is behind. You cannot fully receive the new while refusing to release the old. You cannot embrace the future while remaining attached to the past. You cannot walk into the next season while carrying everything from the previous one. There are burdens I never intended you to carry. There are fears I want you to surrender. There are regrets I want you to release. There are disappointments I want you to place into my hands. My beloved child, some of the heaviness you feel is not coming from your circumstances. It is coming from things you were never meant to carry for so long. You have carried guilt. You have carried shame. You have carried bitterness. You have carried wounds. You have carried responsibilities that belong to me. And now I am inviting you to put them down. Lay them before me. Let me carry them. Let me heal them. Let me restore what has been damaged. Because you cannot move freely while carrying unnecessary weight. My child, the future I have prepared for you requires freedom. Freedom in your heart, freedom in your mind, freedom in your spirit. And sometimes freedom begins with letting go. Letting go of fear. Letting go of resentment. Letting go of old expectations. Letting go of the need to understand everything. You do not have to know every reason. You do not have to have every answer. You do not have to see the entire path. You simply need to trust the one who is leading you. Trust me. I have never failed you. I have never abandoned you. I have never stopped working on your behalf. Even when you could not see my hand, I was moving. Even when you could not hear my voice, I was guiding. Even when you felt alone, I was near. My beloved child, there are blessings approaching that require space. There are opportunities approaching that require preparation. There are answers approaching that require readiness. And part of that readiness involves releasing what no longer belongs. The season ahead is not meant to be lived carrying yesterday's burdens. It is meant to be lived with faith, with expectation, with hope, with trust. I want you to begin looking forward again. I want you to begin believing again. I want you to begin expecting my goodness again. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because I am leading you. And when I lead, there is purpose. When I lead, there is wisdom. When I lead, there is provision. When I lead, there is peace. My child, one day you will understand why certain doors closed. One day you will understand why certain people left. One day you will understand why certain plans changed. And when that day comes, you will see my wisdom in places where you once questioned my timing. You will see my protection where you once saw disappointment. You will see my guidance where you once saw confusion. You will see my faithfulness where you once saw uncertainty. Until then, trust me. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep following my voice. For I am removing what no longer belongs so that you can receive what does. And what I am preparing for you is worth the process. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, "Lord, I trust your plan," in the comments below as a declaration of faith. And if these messages are helping strengthen your relationship with me, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. If you feel blessed by these words and would like to help this ministry continue reaching hearts around the world, you may support the ministry through the link provided below. Stay with me until the end of this entire journey, because the messages ahead will help you grow in wisdom, strengthen your faith, overcome fear, and recognize my guidance more clearly in your daily life. Remember this truth today. What I remove with purpose. And what I prepare with love. My beloved child, come near and listen carefully to me. I know that waiting has not been easy for you. I know there were moments when you felt forgotten, moments when the days seemed long and the nights seemed even longer, moments when you prayed and wondered if anyone was listening, moments when you hoped for change but saw little evidence that anything was happening. I know the weight you have carried. I know the questions hidden inside your heart. I know the silent tears that nobody else saw. And today I want to speak directly into that place of weariness. My child, your waiting season has not been wasted. Every day that felt slow, every moment that felt delayed, every prayer that seemed unanswered, every step that felt difficult, none of it was meaningless. While you were waiting, I was working. While you were hoping, I was preparing. While you were trusting, I was arranging things beyond your sight. The problem is that you often judge progress by what you can see. You look for immediate results. You look for visible signs. You look for evidence in the natural world. But many of my greatest works begin in places your eyes cannot reach. A seed beneath the soil appears inactive, yet life is forming. Roots are growing. Strength is developing. Preparation is taking place. And then one day, what was hidden becomes visible. What seemed delayed suddenly appears. What seemed impossible suddenly becomes reality. My beloved child, you are not buried. You are planted. There is a difference. Burial suggests an ending. Planting prepares for growth. The enemy wanted you to believe you were finished. I tell you that I have been preparing you. The enemy wanted you to see defeat. I have been creating development. The enemy wanted you to surrender. I have been strengthening you. My child, many people quit during the final moments before breakthrough. They become discouraged because they cannot see what is happening beneath the surface. They assume nothing is changing. They assume nothing is moving. They assume nothing is coming. But then suddenly the answer arrives. Suddenly the opportunity appears. Suddenly the door opens. Suddenly the burden lifts. Suddenly the season changes. Do not mistake silence for absence. Do not mistake delay for denial. Do not mistake waiting for abandonment. I have been with you through every step. There were things that needed preparation. There were lessons that needed learning. There were strengths that needed development. There were circumstances that needed alignment. And while you were focused on the clock, I was focused on the process. Because, my child, I care not only about where you are going, I care about who you become along the way. I am not simply trying to give you blessings. I am preparing you to steward them wisely. I am not simply trying to open doors. I am preparing you to walk through them with maturity. I am not simply trying to answer prayers. I am preparing your heart for the responsibilities that accompany the answers. My beloved child, some of the things you requested years ago would have overwhelmed the version of you that existed back then. You prayed for opportunities. You prayed for influence. You prayed for provision. You prayed for growth. But before those things could arrive, you needed development. You needed wisdom. You needed patience. You needed strength. You needed deeper faith. And that is what I have been building within you. The waiting season has been a classroom. The waiting season has been preparation. The waiting season has been transformation. Do not despise the process, for the process has been producing something valuable inside of you. My child, I know there were days when discouragement tried to convince you to quit, days when disappointment whispered lies into your heart, days when fear suggested that nothing would ever change. But look at you now. You are still here. You are still believing. You are still seeking me. You are still standing. That is not weakness. That is evidence of my grace sustaining you. That is evidence of my hand protecting you. That is evidence of my faithfulness carrying you forward. Many times you thought you could not continue, yet somehow you found strength. Many times you thought you would break, yet somehow you endured. Many times you thought the burden was too heavy, yet somehow you kept moving. My beloved child, that strength came from me, that endurance came from me, that perseverance came from me. And the same God who carried you through yesterday will carry you through tomorrow. The same God who sustained you in the valley will sustain you on the mountain. The same God who guided you through uncertainty will guide you into fulfillment. My child, I need you to stop comparing your timeline with other people's journeys. What I am doing in their lives is different from what I am doing in yours. Comparison steals peace. Comparison steals gratitude. Comparison blinds you to the blessings already present in your life. Focus on your journey. Focus on your growth. Focus on your relationship with me. Trust that my timing is perfect for you. Not late, not early, perfect. I know you want answers. I know you want clarity. I know you want results. But I ask you to remain faithful in the meantime. Remain faithful when progress feels slow. Remain faithful when circumstances seem unchanged. Remain faithful when understanding feels distant. Because faithfulness during the waiting season prepares you for the blessing season. My beloved child, there are things closer than you realize. Doors closer than you realize. Answers closer than you realize. Breakthroughs closer than you realize. Do not give up now. Do not lose heart now. Do not surrender now. You have come too far. You have grown too much. You have endured too much to stop here. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Keep praying. Keep walking. The season is shifting. The process is working. The preparation is producing results. And what I have promised will arrive at the appointed time. Not according to fear. Not according to pressure. Not according to human expectations. According to my perfect wisdom. My child, hold on to hope. Hold on to faith. Hold on to my promises. Because the waiting season is not your permanent address. It is simply a chapter. And a new chapter is approaching. One filled with greater understanding, greater peace, greater growth, and greater evidence of my faithfulness. If this word speaks to your heart today, type, "I will trust God's timing," in the comments below, and stay with me through every remaining message. Because what you learn throughout this journey can help strengthen your faith, guide your decisions, and bring greater peace into your daily life. Remember this truth today. The waiting season is not the end of your story. I am still working, and my timing never fails. My beloved child, come closer to me now. Be still for a moment. Let the noise fade. Let the distractions fall away. Let your heart become quiet before me. For today, I want to speak to a place within you that few people ever see. I want to speak to the hidden places, the places behind your smile, the places beneath your strength, the places you have tried to protect from everyone around you. My child, there are wounds you carry that nobody knows about. There are hurts you rarely talk about. There are disappointments you buried deep inside because you felt nobody would understand. You learned how to function while hurting. You learned how to smile while grieving. You learned how to keep moving while carrying burdens that felt far too heavy. Others saw your outward strength, but I saw your inward struggle. Others saw your achievements, but I saw your silent battles. Others saw your daily routine, but I saw the tears you wiped away when nobody was watching. My beloved child, nothing about your pain has been hidden from me. I know every wound. I know every disappointment. I know every betrayal. I know every moment when your heart broke. I know every time someone said words that left scars. I know every rejection that made you question your worth. I know every loss that left an empty space inside your soul. And today, I want you to know this truth. I am not only concerned with your circumstances, I am concerned with your heart. I am not only interested in changing your situation, I am interested in healing your spirit. Because some blessings cannot be fully received until healing begins. Some opportunities cannot be fully embraced while old wounds remain in control. Some seasons cannot be enjoyed while unresolved pain continues to shape your thinking. That is why I am working within you, not just around you, within you. My child, many people seek external change while ignoring internal healing. They want new opportunities, but carry old bitterness. They want fresh beginnings, but cling to old hurts. They want peace, but refuse to release resentment. They want joy, but continue living inside yesterday's pain. I am calling you to something greater. I am calling you to healing. Not partial healing, not temporary healing, deep healing, complete healing. The kind of healing that reaches places words cannot fully describe. The kind of healing that transforms how you see yourself. The kind of healing that changes how you view your future. My beloved child, some of the lies you believe about yourself were never spoken by me. You have called yourself unworthy. I call you loved. You have called yourself forgotten. I call you chosen. You have called yourself broken. I call you redeemed. You have called yourself weak. I call you strengthened by my grace. You have listened to voices that do not speak my truth. Voices of fear, voices of shame, voices of insecurity, voices of past failures, and those voices have tried to convince you that your wounds define you. But they do not. Your pain is not your identity. Your mistakes are not your identity. Your disappointments are not your identity. I define who you are, and my definition has never changed. You are my beloved child. You are valuable. You are precious. You are deeply loved. You are not an accident. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond restoration. My child, I know healing takes time. I know some wounds run deep. I know some memories still hurt. I know some experiences left scars that seem impossible to forget. But healing is not the absence of memory. Healing is the absence of control. The memory may remain, but it no longer controls your peace. The experience may remain, but it no longer controls your future. The scar may remain, but it becomes a testimony rather than a source of pain. I am teaching you how to move forward without carrying the weight of what happened. I am teaching you how to forgive. I am teaching you how to trust again. I am teaching you how to hope again. Not because people are perfect, not because life is easy, but because I am faithful. My beloved child, do not rush the healing process. Do not condemn yourself for still having emotions. Do not judge yourself for still having questions. Healing is a journey. Growth is a process. Restoration takes time. Even now I am working gently within your heart, removing fear, removing shame, removing lies, removing burdens that do not belong, replacing them with truth, replacing them with peace, replacing them with confidence, replacing them with hope. My child, there are people who hurt you because they were hurting themselves. There are people who failed you because they were broken. There are people who wounded you because they did not know how to love correctly. This does not excuse what happened, but it helps you release the burden of carrying it forever. You do not need to spend the rest of your life imprisoned by someone else's actions. You do not need to allow past experiences to determine future possibilities. You do not need to stay trapped inside old pain. I am calling you into freedom. Freedom from resentment. Freedom from bitterness. Freedom from self-condemnation. Freedom from fear. Freedom from the lies that have followed you for too long. My beloved child, there is so much more ahead of you. There is joy ahead. There is peace ahead. There is purpose ahead. There is growth ahead. There are moments waiting for you that will remind you why you never gave up. There are blessings waiting for you that will reveal my faithfulness in new ways. There are testimonies waiting to be written through your life. But first, I want your heart healthy. I want your spirit strengthened. I want your mind renewed, because what I am preparing for you deserves a healed heart. Do not be afraid to let me work within you. Do not resist my healing touch. Do not cling to wounds I am trying to restore. Bring everything to me, every hurt, every fear, every disappointment, every question. Place it into my hands, for I am gentle with the wounded. I am close to the brokenhearted. I am faithful to complete the work I begin. And I have begun a healing work within you. My child, trust me with the hidden places. Trust me with the painful memories. Trust me with the wounds nobody else sees. Because I know how to restore what seems impossible to restore. And when my healing work is complete, you will not merely survive what happened. You will become stronger because of it. You will become wiser because of it. You will become a testimony of my grace. If this message speaks to your heart today, type "Lord, heal my heart" completely in the comments below, and continue watching until the end of this journey, because each message ahead is designed to strengthen your faith, renew your mind, and help you walk in the freedom, peace, and purpose I desire for your life. Remember this truth today. I am healing the hidden places of your heart, and My healing is already at work. My beloved child, listen carefully to me today. There have been moments when you stood before closed doors and wondered why. Moments when opportunities disappeared unexpectedly. Moments when plans fell apart despite your best efforts. Moments when people said no, when you desperately hoped they would say yes. Moments when it seemed as though every path forward had been blocked. I know how discouraging those seasons felt. I know how many questions filled your heart. I know how many times you asked me what was happening. And today, I want you to hear this truth clearly. When I close a door, it is because I see what you cannot see. And when I open a door, no person, no obstacle, no circumstance, and no opposition can permanently shut it. My child, too often you have given human beings more power than they actually possess. You have believed that certain people controlled your destiny. You have believed that certain opportunities determined your future. You have believed that one rejection had the power to cancel my plans. But I tell you now, your future has never rested in the hands of people. It has always rested in mine. People may reject you, but they cannot cancel my purpose. People may misunderstand you, but they cannot stop my plan. People may overlook you, but they cannot prevent my blessing. For what I have spoken over your life carries greater authority than any human opinion. My beloved child, some of the doors you cried over were never meant for you. Some of the opportunities you desperately wanted would have led you away from my best. Some of the relationships you fought to keep would have delayed your growth. Some of the paths you begged me to open would have taken you somewhere I never intended you to go. And because I love you, I protected you, even when you did not understand it, even when it hurt, even when it felt unfair. My protection does not always feel comfortable. Sometimes my protection looks like a closed door. Sometimes my protection looks like a delay. Sometimes my protection looks like disappointment. But later you will see my wisdom. Later you will understand why I intervened. Later you will thank me for what I refused to allow. My child, stop measuring my faithfulness by whether everything goes according to your plans. My faithfulness is greater than your plans. My wisdom is greater than your understanding. My perspective is greater than your perspective. You see a single chapter. I see the entire story. You see today's situation. I see tomorrow's opportunities. You see temporary disappointment. I see eternal purpose. That is why I ask you to trust me, not because you understand everything, but because I do. My beloved child, there are doors ahead that are specifically designed for you. Doors connected to your purpose. Doors connected to your growth. Doors connected to your calling. Doors connected to the future I have prepared. And when the time is right, those doors will open. Not because of luck, not because of human favor alone, not because of coincidence, but because I have ordained them. You do not need to force them open. You do not need to manipulate circumstances. You do not need to exhaust yourself trying to create what only I can provide. Your responsibility is obedience. My responsibility is provision. Your responsibility is faithfulness. My responsibility is fulfillment. Your responsibility is trust. My responsibility is guidance. My child, there are opportunities approaching that will remind you how powerful my timing truly is. Things that seemed impossible will begin to unfold. Situations that appeared stagnant will begin to move. Answers that seemed distant will begin to arrive, not because circumstances suddenly became favorable, but because my appointed time arrived. Never underestimate the power of divine timing. A single moment of my favor can accomplish more than years of human effort. A single door opened by my hand can change the direction of an entire life. A single opportunity arranged by me can create blessings far beyond what you imagined. That is why I want you to remain patient, remain faithful, remain hopeful, remain prayerful, because the story is still unfolding. My beloved child, do not envy the doors opening for others. Do not compare your journey to theirs. Do not become discouraged because someone else's blessing appears before yours. What I am doing in their life is not what I am doing in yours. Every journey has its own timing. Every purpose has its own season. Every calling has its own preparation. Trust the process I have chosen for you. Trust the pace I have established for you. Trust the timing I have designed for you. For my timing is never random. My child, I know there were moments when rejection wounded your confidence, moments when failure made you question yourself, moments when disappointment made you wonder if you were enough. But hear me clearly. A closed door does not determine your worth. A rejection does not determine your value. A setback does not determine your identity. Your value comes from me. Your identity comes from me. Your purpose comes from me. And none of those things can be taken away by human circumstances. You are still chosen. You are still loved. You are still called. You are still valuable. Nothing that happened changed those truths. My beloved child, the enemy wants you to focus on what has not happened yet. I want you to focus on my faithfulness. The enemy wants you to focus on closed doors. I want you to focus on my promises. The enemy wants you to focus on delays. I want you to focus on my timing. The enemy wants you to focus on fear. I want you to focus on faith, because faith keeps moving forward. Faith keeps believing. Faith keeps trusting. Faith keeps expecting. My goodness. And faith will carry you through every season until fulfillment arrives. My child, there are doors opening even now that you cannot yet see. There are opportunities forming even now. There are answers moving toward you even now. There are connections being arranged even now. Do not lose heart. Do not surrender to discouragement. Do not allow temporary circumstances to steal your expectation. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith strong. Because what I open cannot be permanently shut. And what I have prepared for you will arrive at exactly the right time. If this word speaks to your heart today, type "God's doors will open for me" in the comments below. And continue watching until the very end of this journey, because the messages ahead will help strengthen your trust, deepen your faith, and teach you how to recognize my hand at work in every season of life. Remember this truth today. The doors I open for you cannot be shut by man, and the doors I close are often protecting you from what was never meant for you. My beloved child, listen carefully to my voice today. I know there have been areas of your life where you felt trapped, areas where progress seemed impossible, areas where you fought the same battles repeatedly, areas where you prayed for change, yet saw little movement. You began to wonder if things would ever be different. You began to wonder if freedom was truly possible. You began to wonder if the burden would always remain. But I tell you now, do not accept as permanent what I have only allowed for a season. Do not build your future around your current struggle. Do not assume that today's battle will define the rest of your life. Because I am the God who breaks chains. I am the God who opens prison doors. I am the God who makes a way where no way seems possible. My child, some chains are visible. Others are hidden. Some people are bound by circumstances. Others are bound by fear. Some are bound by financial pressure. Others are bound by anxiety. Some are bound by painful memories. Others are bound by negative beliefs about themselves. The chains may look different from one person to another, but regardless of what form they take, I want you to know this truth. No chain is stronger than my power. No bondage is greater than my authority. No prison is beyond my reach. My beloved child, there are thoughts that have held you captive for too long. Thoughts that tell you that you are not enough. Thoughts that tell you nothing will ever change. Thoughts that tell you your best days are behind you. Thoughts that tell you your mistakes define you. Those thoughts do not come from me. I do not speak hopelessness. I do not speak condemnation. I do not speak defeat. I speak life. I speak truth. And today I am calling you to stop agreeing with the lies that have tried to limit you. The enemy knows that if he can control your thinking, he can influence your direction. That is why he works so hard to fill your mind with fear. Fear weakens faith. Fear clouds vision. Fear steals peace. Fear convinces people to stop moving forward. But I did not create you to live in fear. I created you to walk by faith. Faith that believes even when circumstances look difficult. Faith that trusts even when answers seem delayed. Faith that continues moving forward despite uncertainty. My child, freedom begins when you start believing what I say more than what fear says. Freedom begins when you trust my promises more than your worries. Freedom begins when you focus on my faithfulness instead of your limitations. You've spent enough time listening to voices that diminish your confidence. Listen to my voice now. You are stronger than you realize because I am strengthening you. You are more capable than you realize because I am equipping you. You are more resilient than you realize because my grace is sustaining you. My beloved child, some chains have remained because you have become familiar with them, not because you enjoy them, not because you want them, but because you have carried them for so long that they began to feel normal. You became accustomed to worry, accustomed to insecurity, accustomed to doubt, accustomed to expecting disappointment. But familiarity does not mean those things belong in your life. I did not create you to live under constant fear. I did not create you to remain imprisoned by yesterday's wounds. I did not create you to be ruled by anxiety and discouragement. I created you for freedom. Freedom to trust me. Freedom to grow. Freedom to hope. Freedom to walk confidently into the future I have prepared. My child, one of the greatest chains I want to break is the chain of believing that you must carry everything alone. You were never meant to carry every burden by yourself. You were never meant to solve every problem by yourself. You were never meant to endure every struggle by yourself. That is why I invite you to bring your burdens to me. Bring your worries. Bring your fears. Bring your questions. Bring your exhaustion. Bring your pain. You do not have to hide any of it. You do not have to pretend everything is fine. You do not have to appear strong all the time. I already know what is in your heart, and I am not asking you to carry it alone. My beloved child, there are chains breaking even now. Perhaps not all at once. Perhaps not in the way you expected. But transformation is already happening. Every time you choose faith over fear, a chain weakens. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, a chain weakens. Every time you choose hope over despair, a chain weakens. Every time you trust me despite uncertainty, a chain weakens. Freedom often begins quietly. One decision, one prayer, one act of obedience, one step of faith. And over time, what once seemed impossible becomes reality. My child, do not become discouraged if the process takes time. Great transformations rarely happen instantly. Growth requires patience. Healing requires patience. Freedom requires persistence. Continue walking with me. Continue trusting me. Continue believing me. For I am faithful to complete what I begin. The chains that have limited you do not have the final word. The fears that have troubled you do not have the final word. The mistakes of your past do not have the final word. I have the final word. And my word over your life is greater than any struggle you face. My beloved child, there is more strength within you than you realize. There is more potential within you than you realize. There is more purpose upon your life than you realize. Do not allow temporary battles to make you forget eternal truths. You belong to me. You are loved by me. You are guided by me. You are sustained by me. And because of that, your story is still unfolding. The chapter you are living today is not the end. The struggle you are facing today is not permanent. The chain you are carrying today will not define your future. I am leading you toward greater freedom, greater peace, greater confidence, greater purpose, and greater faith. So keep moving forward, keep trusting, keep believing. Because what seems impossible to you is possible with me. If this word speaks to your heart today, type, "My chains are breaking by faith," in the comments below, and continue watching through every remaining part of this journey. Because the messages ahead will help you recognize the lies that hold you back, strengthen your trust in me, and guide you toward the freedom and purpose I desire for your life. Remember this truth today: the chains are not stronger than my power, and what I begin to set free, no force can keep bound forever. My beloved child, quiet your heart before me and listen carefully. Do not allow distractions to steal this moment. Do not allow fear to interrupt what I am about to place within your spirit. For today, I want to remind you of something that you have almost forgotten. I am still the God of miracles. I am still the God who makes a way where there appears to be no way. I am still the God who speaks life into situations that seem hopeless. I am still the God who turns impossible circumstances into testimonies of my power. My child, there have been moments when you looked at your situation and quietly wondered if anything would ever change. You prayed, you waited, you believed, you hoped. Yet the answer did not arrive when you expected. The breakthrough did not happen as quickly as you desired. The door remained closed longer than you thought it would. And little by little, discouragement began to whisper to your heart. Perhaps it is not going to happen. Perhaps nothing will change. Perhaps the answer will never come. My beloved child, do not believe those lies. What you cannot see is not the same as what does not exist. What has not appeared yet is not the same as what is not coming. The miracle you have been praying for may be closer than you think. Many people lose hope because they judge heaven's work according to earthly timelines. They expect immediate results. They expect instant answers. They expect visible evidence. But I often work beneath the surface before I reveal the outcome. The roots grow before the tree appears. The foundation is laid before the building rises. Preparation comes before manifestation. And even now, I am preparing things you cannot yet see. My child, there are prayers you prayed months ago that are still moving through the process of fulfillment. There are requests you brought before me that have not been forgotten. There are tears you shed that remain precious in my sight. Nothing has been lost. Nothing has been ignored. Nothing has been forgotten. I remember every prayer. I remember every cry. I remember every moment when you called upon my name, and I am still working. My beloved child, sometimes the miracle you seek is not simply a change in circumstances. Sometimes the miracle begins within you, a stronger faith, a deeper peace, a wiser perspective, a more resilient spirit, a greater trust in me. Many people focus only on external transformation, yet I often begin by transforming the heart. Because when the heart changes, everything else begins to change as well. My child, I want you to stop measuring my activity by visible results alone. I am active, even when you cannot see evidence. I am moving, even when circumstances appear unchanged. I am working, even when silence surrounds you. The sun continues shining, even when clouds hide it from view. And my faithfulness continues operating even when you cannot immediately perceive it. Do not allow temporary silence to convince you that I am absent. I have never abandoned you. I have never forgotten you. I have never stopped caring for you. Even during the moments when you felt alone, my hand remained upon your life. My beloved child, there are things taking place right now that will make sense later. Connections are forming. Opportunities are developing. Doors are being prepared. Lessons are becoming wisdom. Trials are becoming testimonies. What feels confusing today may become clear tomorrow. What feels painful today may become valuable tomorrow. What feels delayed today may become a source of gratitude tomorrow. Trust the process. Trust my timing. Trust trust, my wisdom, my child. One reason people become discouraged is because they focus on what has not happened, instead of recognizing what has already happened. Look back for a moment. Have I not carried you through difficult seasons before? Have I not protected you when danger surrounded you? Have I not provided when resources seemed limited? Have I not strengthened you when you felt weak? Have I not guided you through uncertainty? The same God who did those things before remains with you today. My character has not changed. My love has not changed. My power has not changed. My promises have not changed. Therefore, your hope should not change either, my beloved child. Do not compare your miracle to someone else's testimony. Do not compare your journey to another person's path. Every story unfolds according to a different timetable. Every purpose develops according to a different process. Every assignment requires different preparation. What I am doing in your life is unique. Trust the way I am leading you. Trust the pace I have chosen. Trust the path I have designed, because I know exactly what I am doing. My child, expectation is important, not because expectation forces miracles, but because expectation keeps your heart open to receive what I am doing. Do not stop expecting my goodness. Do not stop expecting growth. Do not stop expecting opportunities. Do not stop expecting healing. Do not stop expecting restoration. Continue believing. Continue hoping. Continue trusting. For faith creates room for my work to be recognized. My beloved child, some of your greatest testimonies are still ahead of you. Some of your greatest victories are still ahead of you. Some of your greatest moments of joy are still ahead of you. Do not let temporary discouragement rob you of future celebration. The chapter you are living now is important, but it is not the final chapter. There is more ahead, more growth, more understanding, more peace, more evidence of my faithfulness. My child, remain patient, remain prayerful, remain hopeful, remain faithful. For the miracle you are praying for may be much closer than you realize. And when the appointed time arrives, you will see that I was working all along. You will see that nothing was wasted. You will see that every delay had purpose. You will see that every lesson carried value. And you will see that my faithfulness never left your side. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, "I believe my miracle is coming," in the comments below. And if these messages have encouraged your faith, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. If you feel blessed by these words and would like to help this ministry continue reaching people around the world, you may support the ministry through the link provided below. Most importantly, stay with me until the very end of this entire journey, because the messages ahead will help strengthen your faith, deepen your trust, and teach you how to recognize my hand at work in every season of life. Remember this truth today: the miracle may be closer than you think, and I am still working, even when you cannot yet see it. My beloved child, draw near to me and listen carefully today. There is a truth I want to plant deeply within your heart. Not everything that appears lost is truly gone. Not everything that seems broken is beyond repair. Not everything that has fallen apart is beyond my ability to restore. For I am the God of restoration. I restore hope. I restore peace. I restore strength. I restore joy. I restore purpose. And sometimes, in ways that leave people amazed, I restore what seemed impossible to recover. My child, I know there are things you miss. Dreams that did not unfold the way you expected. Relationships that changed. Opportunities that disappeared. Time that seems wasted. Moments you wish you could relive. You have looked back at certain chapters of your life and wondered what could have been. You have questioned whether some losses were permanent. You have wondered whether certain blessings passed you by forever. But hear me clearly today. Your story is not defined by what you lost. Your story is defined by what I can restore. The enemy wants you to spend your life staring at what is gone. I want you to focus on what I am creating. The enemy wants you trapped in regret. I want you walking in faith. The enemy wants you mourning forever. I want you moving toward restoration. My beloved child, some losses were never meant to destroy you. Some losses redirected you. Some losses protected you. Some losses prepared you. And some losses revealed strengths within you that you never knew existed. You may not understand every reason. You may never receive every explanation. But you can trust my heart even when you do not understand my methods. Because I am always working for your good. Even when circumstances seem confusing. Even when outcomes seem painful. Even when answers seem delayed. I remain faithful. My child, there are areas of your life where you have quietly accepted defeat. Areas where you stopped expecting improvement. Areas where you stopped praying boldly. Areas where disappointment convinced you to lower your expectations. But today, I am asking you to believe again. Believe that healing is possible. Believe that growth is possible. Believe that restoration is possible. Believe that your future can be brighter than your past, not because of your strength alone, but because of my power. There is nothing too difficult for me. Nothing beyond my reach. Nothing beyond my ability to redeem. My beloved child, I know there were seasons when you felt like life was taking more than it was giving. You gave your energy. You gave your effort. You gave your time. You gave your heart. And sometimes it seemed like very little came back in return. You wondered whether your sacrifices mattered. You wondered whether your faithfulness was worthwhile. You wondered whether your perseverance made any difference. It did. Nothing done in faith is wasted. Nothing done in love is wasted. Nothing done in obedience is wasted. I see it all, I remember it all, and I know how to bring fruit from seeds that appear forgotten. My child, restoration does not always mean getting back exactly what was lost. Sometimes restoration means receiving something greater, something wiser, something healthier, something stronger, something more aligned with my purpose. You may ask me to restore a specific situation, and instead, I restore your heart. You may ask me to restore a certain opportunity, and instead I open a better door. You may ask me to restore what was, and instead, I create something new. Do not limit restoration to your own expectations. Allow me to restore according to my wisdom. Because my plans are higher than your plans. My vision is greater than your vision. And my understanding reaches beyond what you can currently see. My beloved child, there are blessings ahead that will help you understand why certain things happened. There are moments ahead that will reveal my faithfulness. There are answers ahead that will bring clarity. There are testimonies ahead that will strengthen your confidence in me. One day you will look back and see how I carried you through seasons you thought would break you. You will see how I protected you from paths that were not meant for you. You will see how I transformed pain into wisdom. You will see how I turned setbacks into preparation. And you will realize that even when life felt uncertain, my hand never left you. My child, do not become so focused on what has been lost that you overlook what is being built. Something new is being built. New strength, new understanding, new opportunities, new confidence, new purpose, new joy. The future is not empty. The future is being prepared. And every day I am working within you and around you to bring my plans to fulfillment. My beloved child, I want you to release regret today. Regret cannot change yesterday. Regret cannot rewrite the past. Regret cannot create a better future. But faith can move you forward. Hope can move you forward. Trust can move you forward. And I am calling you forward. Forward into healing. Forward into growth. Forward into purpose. Forward into the next chapter I have prepared. Do not remain trapped in memories. Do not remain trapped in disappointment. Do not remain trapped in what could have been. Walk toward what can still be. Walk toward what I am creating. Walk toward what I am restoring. My child, there is beauty ahead. There is peace ahead. There is joy ahead. There is purpose ahead. There is restoration ahead. And while the process may take time, my faithfulness will not fail. I have not forgotten your prayers. I have not ignored your tears. I have not abandoned your future. I am still working. I am still guiding. I am still restoring. And what I restore carries the fingerprints of my grace. So lift your eyes today. Raise your expectations. Renew your faith. And believe once again that I am able to do far more than you imagine. For restoration is not merely something I do. It is part of who I am. If this word speaks to your heart today, type "God is restoring my life" in the comments below. And continue watching until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead will help you overcome regret, strengthen your faith, and recognize the restoration I am already beginning in areas where you once saw only loss. Remember this truth today. What seems lost to you is never beyond my power to restore, and my restoration is often greater than what you expected. My beloved child, listen carefully to my voice today. There have been seasons when you felt misunderstood, seasons when people looked at your circumstances and assumed they knew your future, seasons when others judged your journey without understanding your battles, seasons when people doubted your potential because they could only see your current situation. I know how those moments felt. I know the sting of being overlooked. I know the pain of being underestimated. I know the disappointment of realizing that some people expected you to fail. But today, I want you to understand something important. The opinions of people do not determine your destiny. Their doubts cannot cancel my purpose. Their criticism cannot stop my plan. Their rejection cannot remove my calling from your life. My child, there have always been people who judged what they did not understand. People who saw your struggle, but not your strength. People who saw your mistakes, but not your growth. People who saw your setbacks, but not your future. They looked at your present circumstances and assumed they knew how your story would end. But they forgot one thing. They forgot that I am writing your story. And when I am involved, the final chapter is never determined by current circumstances. My beloved child, many times I allow people to underestimate you for a reason, because when the breakthrough comes, they will know it was not your power alone. When the door opens, they will know it was my hand. When the miracle arrives, they will know it was my favor. When the restoration appears, they will know it was my faithfulness. I do not need human approval to fulfill my plans. I do not require human permission to bless you. I do not depend on popular opinion to move in your life. What I have spoken over you remains true, regardless of who believes it. My child, stop spending so much energy trying to prove yourself to people. You do not need to convince everyone. You do not need to explain every decision. You do not need to defend every step of your journey. Some people will understand. Others will not. Some people will support you. Others will criticize you. Some people will celebrate your growth. Others will question it. But none of those reactions change what I have spoken over your life. Your responsibility is not to impress people. Your responsibility is to remain faithful. Faithful when people support you. Faithful when people misunderstand you. Faithful when people encourage you. Faithful when people doubt you. Because your reward comes from me, not from human approval. My beloved child, I know there are moments when criticism wounded your confidence. Moments when rejection made you question your value. Moments when negative words lingered in your mind longer than they should have. You replayed conversations. You remembered painful comments. You wondered whether those voices were right. But hear me clearly. The opinions of others are not the voice of truth. My voice is truth. And my voice says, you are loved. My voice says you are chosen. My voice says you have purpose. My voice says your life matters. My voice says, your future remains full of possibility. Do not allow human opinions to become stronger than divine truth. My child, some of the people who doubted you were only responding to what they could see, and what they could see was incomplete. They could see your struggles, but they could not see my preparation. They could see your delays, but they could not see my timing. They could see your battles, but they could not see the strength I was building within you. They could see your tears, but they could not see the testimony those tears were preparing. Never assume that what people see today represents what I am creating for tomorrow. The process is often hidden before the results become visible. My beloved child, I want you to stop looking for validation from people who cannot fully understand your calling. Not everyone is assigned to understand your journey. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you in every season. Not everyone has the perspective required to see what I am doing, and that is okay. You do not need universal approval. You need obedience. You need faith. You need trust. You need a willingness to follow me even when others do not understand, because obedience to my voice will always take you further than approval from people. My child, there are blessings approaching that will surprise those who doubted you. There are opportunities approaching that will exceed expectations. There are answers approaching that will reveal my faithfulness. Not so you can boast, not so you can seek revenge, not so you can prove others wrong, but so my goodness can be revealed. When I bless you, remain humble. When I elevate you, remain grateful. When I open doors, remain faithful. Do not become the kind of person who forgets where the blessing came from. Remember me in every victory. Remember me in every breakthrough. Remember me in every answered prayer. Because everything good comes from my hand. My beloved child, some people may never acknowledge that they were wrong about you. Some may never apologize. Some may never understand. Do not let that trouble your heart. You do not need their recognition to move forward. You do not need their approval to walk in your purpose. You do not need their validation to receive what I have prepared. Let me handle what belongs to me. Let me handle justice. Let me handle vindication. Let me handle the outcomes. Your focus should remain on your relationship with me. My child, the future I have prepared for you is too important to be controlled by the opinions of others. Do not shrink yourself to fit someone else's expectations. Do not lower your faith because someone else doubts. Do not abandon your purpose because someone else cannot see it. Keep walking forward. Keep trusting me. Keep believing. Keep growing. Keep obeying. For what I have started in your life, I will complete. And when the results appear, they will serve as a testimony of my faithfulness. Not because you were perfect, not because the journey was easy, but because I remain faithful throughout every season. If this word speaks to your heart today, type God's purpose for me will prevail in the comments below. And continue watching until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead will help you build confidence in my promises, overcome the fear of people's opinions, and walk boldly in the purpose I have prepared for your life. Remember this truth today: the people who doubted you do not determine your future. I do, and my plans for you remain secure. My beloved child, come near and listen carefully to my voice today. There is something I need you to understand. The opposition you have faced is not proof that I have abandoned you. The resistance you have encountered is not evidence that my promises have failed. The battles surrounding you are not signs that your future is in danger. In fact, many times the greatest resistance appears just before the greatest breakthrough. The enemy does not fight what has no purpose. Darkness does not attack what carries no light. Opposition does not rise against what poses no threat. And the very fact that you have endured so many battles should remind you that there is something valuable upon your life. There is purpose upon your life. There is calling upon your life. There is destiny upon your life. And there is a future I am preparing that is greater than the difficulties you currently see. My child, There were seasons when people expected you to quit. They expected the pressure to break you. They expected disappointment to weaken you. They expected fear to silence you. They expected circumstances to overwhelm you. Yet you are still here. You are still standing. You are still seeking me. You are still believing. You are still moving forward, and that is not because of your strength alone. It is because my hand has been sustaining you. It is because my grace has been carrying you. It is because my power has been working within you. My beloved child, I know there were moments when you questioned your ability to continue, moments when you felt exhausted, moments when your faith felt small, moments when your heart felt heavy, moments when the road ahead seemed uncertain. But even during those moments, I never left your side. I walked beside you through every valley. I stood beside you through every battle. I strengthened you through every storm, and I protected you in ways you never fully realized. There were dangers you never saw. There were attacks you never recognized. There were obstacles I removed before they reached you. There were situations I prevented before they could harm you. You may never know the full extent of my protection in this life. But one day, you will see how often my hand intervened on your behalf. My child, I want you to stop focusing so much on who is against you. Instead, focus on who is with you. Because if I am with you, no opposition can permanently stop my purpose. If I am with you, no obstacle can permanently block my plan. If I am with you, no enemy can ultimately prevail against what I have ordained. People may try to hinder you. Circumstances may challenge you. Fear may attempt to discourage you. But my purpose remains stronger than every obstacle. My beloved child, there are times when I allow opposition because it develops strength within you. Pressure reveals character. Challenges reveal faith. Difficulties reveal perseverance. And every battle you overcome becomes evidence of my faithfulness. Do not despise the lessons learned through struggle. Do not underestimate the growth produced through adversity. The battles were difficult, but they were not meaningless. Every challenge taught you something. Every obstacle strengthened something. Every disappointment refined something. And through it all, I was shaping you into the person you are becoming. My child, there are blessings ahead that require the strength you are developing now. There are responsibilities ahead that require the wisdom you are gaining now. There are opportunities ahead that require the maturity you are building now. That is why the process matters. That is why the journey matters. That is why I continue working within you, even while circumstances remain imperfect. Because I care about who you are becoming, not just what you are receiving. My beloved child, I know there are moments when you wonder whether justice will ever come. You see unfair situations. You remember hurtful words. You remember betrayal. You remember being misunderstood. And part of you wants answers. Part of you wants vindication. Part of you wants people to recognize the truth. But I ask you to trust me with those things. You do not need to fight every battle. You do not need to defend yourself against every accusation. You do not need to prove yourself to every critic. Let me handle what belongs to me. Focus on walking faithfully. Focus on obeying my voice. Focus on growing in character. Focus on fulfilling the assignment I have given you. Leave the rest in my hands. My child, I am able to open doors that no enemy can close. I am able to provide opportunities no critic can stop. I am able to create favor where resistance once existed. I am able to turn situations around in ways that exceed your expectations. Nothing is too difficult for me. Nothing is beyond my reach. Nothing is beyond my ability to redeem. My beloved child, do not become distracted by the behavior of others. Stay focused on my voice. Stay focused on my promises. Stay focused on my purpose. The enemy would love for you to waste your energy fighting unnecessary battles. But I am calling you to something higher. I am calling you to trust. I am calling you to peace. I am calling you to confidence. I am calling you to faith. Because faith sees beyond temporary circumstances. Faith sees beyond present struggles. Faith sees beyond visible obstacles. Faith remembers that I am still in control. And I am. My child, there is a table I am preparing before you, a table of provision, a table of peace, a table of opportunity, a table of restoration, a table of blessing. Not because you earned it perfectly, not because you never struggled, not because you never failed, but because I am faithful, because I keep my promises, because my love for you remains constant, and because my plans for your life are still moving forward. So, lift your head today. Do not allow discouragement to steal your hope. Do not allow fear to weaken your faith. Do not allow opposition to distract you from your purpose. Keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep believing. Keep seeking me. For what I am preparing is greater than what you are leaving behind, and what I am building is stronger than what tried to stop you. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, "God is preparing my table," in the comments below, and continue watching until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead will help you overcome fear, strengthen your faith, and recognize my hand at work even in seasons of challenge and opposition. Remember this truth today. I am preparing a table before you, and no enemy can prevent what I have already decided to bless. My beloved child, come closer and listen carefully to my voice today. I know there are questions in your heart, questions about the future, questions about your purpose, questions about situations that seem uncertain, questions about paths that remain unclear. You have asked me for direction. You have asked me for signs. You have asked me to show you exactly what comes next. And while I understand your desire for certainty, there is something important I need you to learn. Trust is not built when every answer is visible. Trust is built when you continue walking with me even when you cannot see the entire path. My child, if you could see every detail of your future, faith would not be necessary. If you knew every answer in advance, trust would not need to grow. If every step were clearly revealed, dependence upon me would become unnecessary. But I created you for relationship, not merely information. I desire your trust more than your certainty. I desire your faith more than your complete understanding. I desire your heart more than your ability to predict the future. My beloved child, many of the greatest journeys in life begin with uncertainty. The farmer plants a seed without seeing the harvest. The builder lays a foundation before seeing the finished structure. The traveler begins a journey before reaching the destination. And in the same way, I often ask you to take steps of faith before you see the full outcome. Not because I want to confuse you, not because I want to frustrate you, but because I am teaching you to trust the one who holds the future. My child, there were seasons when I gave you just enough light for the next step, not enough to see the entire road, but enough to continue moving forward. And many times you wished for more. You wanted the complete map. You wanted every answer. You wanted every detail explained. But had I shown you everything at once, it might have overwhelmed you. There are blessings you are not yet ready to fully understand. There are opportunities that require preparation. There are responsibilities that require growth. There are answers that require proper timing. And because I love you, I reveal things according to my wisdom. My beloved child, I know uncertainty can feel uncomfortable. It can make you anxious. It can make you impatient. It can tempt you to seek control. But uncertainty is often the place where faith grows strongest. It is where trust deepens. It is where character develops. It is where dependence upon me becomes real. Anyone can trust when circumstances are easy. Anyone can believe when every answer is visible. But true faith emerges when you continue believing despite unanswered questions. My child, I want you to stop interpreting uncertainty as abandonment. Just because you do not know everything does not mean I am absent. Just because you do not understand everything does not mean I am silent. Just because you cannot see the entire road does not mean I am not leading you. I am still guiding. I am still speaking. I am still directing your steps, even when you cannot fully perceive it. My beloved child, there have been times when you looked back and finally understood why certain things happened. At the moment, they seemed confusing. At the moment, they seemed painful. At the moment, they seemed unnecessary. Yet later you saw my wisdom. Later, you saw my protection. Later, you saw my guidance. The same will be true again. One day, you will understand things that seem unclear today. One day, you will recognize how I was working during seasons that felt confusing. One day, you will see that my timing was better than your timing. And when that day comes, your trust will become even stronger. My child, do not allow fear to make decisions for you. Fear always demands certainty before obedience. Faith obeys even before certainty arrives. Fear asks, what if everything goes wrong? Faith asks, what if God is already making a way? Fear focuses on obstacles. Faith focuses on my promises. Fear magnifies problems. Faith magnifies my power. And I am calling you to walk by faith, not by fear, not by doubt, not by anxiety, but by faith. My beloved child, some of the greatest blessings I have prepared for you exist beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone. That is why growth often feels uncomfortable. That is why faith often feels risky. That is why trust sometimes feels difficult. Because I am inviting you into places where dependence upon me becomes deeper. I am inviting you into a relationship where my voice becomes more important than visible circumstances. I am inviting you into a life where peace does not depend upon perfect conditions. I am inviting you into a life where confidence comes from knowing that I am with you. My child, stop demanding that every question be answered before you move forward. Some answers come after obedience. Some clarity comes after action. Some understanding comes after trust. The next step may be all you need right now, and I will provide light for that step. Then for the next, until eventually you realize that I have guided you much further than you imagined possible. My beloved child, I know you want certainty, but I offer something greater. I offer my presence. Because circumstances change, people change, plans change, but my presence remains. And if my presence goes with you, you have everything you truly need. You have wisdom, you have strength, you have peace, you have guidance, you have hope, you have direction, you have me. My child, there are moments ahead when you will need to remember these words. Moments when answers seem delayed. Moments when uncertainty appears. Moments when fear tries to speak. When those moments come, return to this truth. I am still leading you. I am still guiding you. I am still protecting you. I am still working for your good, and I have not lost sight of your future. Trust me one step at a time. Trust me one day at a time. Trust me one decision at a time. For the path does not need to be fully visible for my guidance to be fully active. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep listening. Keep trusting. Because I know exactly where I am taking you, and I never lead my children without purpose. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, I will trust God, one step at a time, in the comments below, and continue watching until the end of this journey. Because the messages ahead will help you develop stronger faith, greater peace, deeper trust, and clearer confidence in my guidance for your life. Remember this truth today. You do not need to see the entire path. You only need to trust the one who does. My beloved child, listen carefully to me today. I know you have faced storms you never expected, storms that appeared without warning, storms that disrupted your plans, storms that challenged your faith, storms that made you question how much more you could endure. There were moments when you looked around and saw nothing but uncertainty. Moments when the winds of fear seemed strong. Moments when the waves of doubt crashed against your heart. Moments when you wondered if you would make it through. But today, I need you to understand something that will change how you view every battle you have faced. The storm did not come to destroy you. The storm came to reveal what I placed inside you. My child, before a tree faces strong winds, it never truly knows the strength of its roots. Before gold enters the fire, its impurities remain hidden. Before faith faces opposition, its depth remains untested. And before strength encounters challenge, its true capacity remains unseen. Many of the storms you faced revealed strengths you never knew existed. You discovered courage when fear surrounded you. You discovered endurance when quitting seemed easier. You discovered faith when certainty disappeared. You discovered resilience when circumstances became difficult. You thought you were breaking, but in reality, I was revealing the strength I had already planted within you. My beloved child, there were days when you cried and still continued. Days when you felt weak and still moved forward. Days when your heart was heavy and still chose hope. Days when your mind was filled with questions and still chose faith. Do not overlook those moments. Those moments reveal growth. Those moments reveal character. Those moments reveal the work I have been doing within you. The enemy wanted the storm to convince you that you were weak. I used the storm to show you that my strength was sustaining you. The enemy wanted the storm to make you quit. I used the storm to develop perseverance. The enemy wanted the storm to steal your hope. I used the storm to deepen your faith. My child, stop viewing every difficulty as evidence that something is wrong. Sometimes difficulty is evidence that growth is taking place. Sometimes pressure is evidence that development is happening. Sometimes challenges are evidence that you are becoming stronger. I know you would prefer growth without discomfort. I know you would prefer progress without struggle. I know you would prefer victory without battle. But some lessons can only be learned through experience. Some strengths can only be developed through resistance. Some victories can only be appreciated after overcoming obstacles. My beloved child, the storm revealed more than you realize. It revealed who truly stood beside you. It revealed which voices you should listen to. It revealed where your trust was placed. It revealed what mattered most. And most importantly, it revealed that my faithfulness remained constant. Even when circumstances changed, even when people changed, even when plans changed, I remained the same. I remained present. I remained faithful. I remained near. My child, I know there were times when you prayed for the storm to end immediately. And sometimes I calmed the storm, but other times I strengthened you within it. Because there are seasons when the greatest miracle is not the removal of difficulty. The greatest miracle is the development of strength. The greatest miracle is the growth of faith. The greatest miracle is the transformation taking place within your heart. And that transformation has been happening. You may not always see it. You may not always recognize it. But it is real. You are not the same person you were before the storm. You are wiser. You are stronger. You are more discerning. You are more dependent upon me. You are more prepared for what lies ahead. My beloved child, do not resent the lessons learned through adversity. Those lessons have value. Those lessons carry wisdom. Those lessons will help guide you in future seasons. Many of the things you now understand came through experiences you never would have chosen. Yet those experiences became teachers. Those battles became classrooms. Those storms became preparation. And one day, you will use what you learned to encourage someone else who is walking through their own storm. My child, there are people who will find hope because of your testimony. People who will gain courage because of your story. People who will discover faith because of what you endured. The battles were not meaningless. The struggles were not pointless. The pain was not wasted. I am weaving every part of your journey into something that will bring purpose and impact. My beloved child, there is another truth I want you to remember. The storm has an expiration date. No storm lasts forever. No night lasts forever. No season of difficulty lasts forever. Change will come. Growth will come. Breakthrough will come. And when it does, you will look back and see how far I carried you. You will realize that what once seemed impossible became possible. You will realize that what once felt overwhelming became manageable. You will realize that my hand was guiding you the entire time. My child, do not allow present discomfort to make you forget future promises. The story is still unfolding. The process is still working. The preparation is still producing results. And I am still leading you. Every challenge you overcome is preparing you for greater responsibility. Every lesson you learn is preparing you for greater wisdom. Every act of faith is preparing you for greater opportunities. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Nothing. Not the tears. Not the waiting. Not the struggle. Not the storm. I can use it all, and I will. My beloved child, keep your eyes on me, not on the waves, not on the fear, not on the uncertainty. Keep your eyes on me, because when you focus on my faithfulness, peace becomes possible even in difficult seasons. When you focus on my promises, hope remains alive. When you focus on my presence, courage grows stronger. The storm may be loud, but my voice is greater. The storm may be strong, but my power is stronger. The storm may feel overwhelming, but my grace is sufficient, and my grace will continue carrying you forward. If this message speaks to your heart today, type "God is making me stronger" in the comments below. And if these messages have encouraged your faith and helped you grow closer to me, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need hope today. If you feel blessed by these words and would like to help this ministry continue reaching hearts around the world, you may support the ministry through the link provided below. Stay with me until the end of this entire journey, because the messages ahead will reveal deeper truths that can strengthen your faith, guide your decisions, and help you recognize my hand at work in every season of your life. Remember this truth today. The storm did not come to destroy you. It came to reveal the strength that I placed within you. My beloved child, come close and listen carefully to me today. There are questions you have carried for a long time. Questions that surfaced during the difficult seasons. Questions that appeared during lonely nights. Questions that remained even after the battle ended. You have often asked me why. Why did that door close? Why did that relationship change? Why did that opportunity disappear? Why did that season last so long? Why did that pain enter your life? Why did that struggle seem so intense? My beloved child, I heard every question. I heard every cry. I heard every moment when your heart searched for understanding. And today I want you to know that there are answers coming. There is clarity coming. There is understanding coming. For I am about to reveal why you had to walk through that season. My child, when you were in the middle of the battle, you could only see the struggle. You could only see the obstacle. You could only see the discomfort. But I could see what the struggle was producing. I could see what the obstacle was teaching. I could see what the discomfort was developing. You saw pain. I saw preparation. You saw delay. I saw development. You saw confusion. I saw transformation. My beloved child, many of the things that frustrated you were actually protecting you. Many of the things that disappointed you were redirecting you. Many of the things that seemed unfair were preparing you for something greater. If I had given you everything you wanted, exactly when you wanted it, some blessings would have become burdens. Some opportunities would have become distractions. Some relationships would have become obstacles. Some successes would have arrived before you were ready to handle them. Because I love you, I do not merely give what you ask for. I give what aligns with my wisdom. My child, there were people you wanted to remain in your life forever, but they were only meant to accompany you for a season. There were paths you wanted to continue walking, but they were not leading toward your purpose. There were opportunities you desperately wanted, but they were not connected to the future I prepared. You mourned some endings, but I was creating new beginnings. You feared some changes, but I was establishing new direction. You resisted some transitions, but I was leading you into growth. My beloved child, one of the hardest lessons for many people to learn is that my purpose is often bigger than their comfort. Comfort prefers familiarity. Purpose requires growth. Comfort prefers certainty. Purpose requires faith. Comfort prefers staying where things feel safe. Purpose often requires moving forward. That is why some seasons felt uncomfortable. That is why some situations stretched your faith. That is why some experiences challenged your understanding. I was teaching you to trust me more deeply. My child, I know there were times when you felt alone. Times when support seemed limited. Times when people could not understand what you were facing. Times when you wondered whether anyone truly understood. But even in those moments, I was near. Closer than you realized. Closer than your fears suggested. Closer than your circumstances indicated. While others saw your outward actions, I saw your inner battles. While others saw your smile, I saw your tears. While others saw your routine, I saw your prayers. Nothing escaped my attention. Nothing escaped my care. Nothing escaped my love. My beloved child, there are lessons you learned during those difficult seasons that could not have been learned any other way. You learned patience. You learned perseverance. You learned wisdom. You learned discernment. You learned the importance of depending upon me. And those lessons are becoming valuable tools for the future ahead. Never underestimate the value of spiritual growth. Never underestimate the importance of character development. Never underestimate the strength that is formed through perseverance. These qualities will serve you long after temporary circumstances have changed. My child, some of the things you once viewed as setbacks will eventually become testimonies. Some of the disappointments will become stories of my faithfulness. Some of the delays will become evidence of my perfect timing. Some of the struggles will become examples of my sustaining grace. You do not see the entire picture yet, but you are beginning to see pieces of it. And more understanding is coming. My beloved child, stop asking whether the season was wasted. It was not wasted. Every prayer mattered, every lesson mattered, every challenge mattered, every act of faith mattered, every moment of perseverance mattered. I used it all. I am using it all, and I will continue using it all for your good. The enemy intended some experiences to weaken you. I transformed them into opportunities for growth. The enemy intended some situations to discourage you. I transformed them into opportunities for faith. The enemy intended some battles to stop you. I transformed them into opportunities for strength. That is what I do. I redeem. I restore. I transform. I create beauty from ashes. My child, there are people who are watching your journey right now. They may not say anything. They may not fully understand, but they are observing how you respond to challenges. They are observing how you handle difficulties. They are observing how you continue moving forward despite obstacles. And through your faithfulness, they are learning lessons of their own. Never underestimate the impact of a life that continues trusting me during difficult seasons. Your testimony is already being written. Your story is already influencing others. Your journey already carries purpose. My beloved child, the season you survived is proof that I can carry you through future seasons as well. The battle you overcame is proof that my grace is sufficient. The obstacle you passed through is proof that my guidance is reliable. The storm you endured is proof that my faithfulness remains constant. Remember those truths. Hold on to those truths. Build your confidence upon those truths, because the same God who carried you before will carry you again. The same God who guided you before will guide you again. The same God who provided before will provide again. My child, you may not yet understand every detail, but understanding is growing. Clarity is coming. Wisdom is increasing. And one day you will look back and say, "Now I understand. Now I see why God allowed that season. Now I see how He was working all along. Now I see how even the difficult chapters carried purpose." Until then, trust me, walk with me, listen to my voice, and keep moving forward, because the season that once confused you is becoming part of the testimony that will strengthen you. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, "God is revealing His purpose," in the comments below, and continue watching until the end of this journey, because the messages ahead will help you discover deeper faith, greater wisdom, and stronger confidence in my guidance for your life. Remember this truth today: you may not understand every season while you are living through it, but I never allow anything without purpose. And in time I will reveal what I was accomplishing all along. My beloved child, be still before me and listen carefully today. Do not rush through this moment. Do not allow distractions to pull your attention away, for I want to speak directly into the place where hope and doubt have been battling within your heart. I know there are promises you are still waiting to see fulfilled. I know there are prayers you still carry before me. I know there are situations where you are longing for change. And I know there have been moments when you wondered if your breakthrough would ever come. But today I tell you this: the blessing you have been waiting for is already moving toward you. You may not see it yet. You may not understand how it will happen. You may not know when it will arrive. But my child, movement has already begun. My hand is already at work. My plans are already unfolding. My child, many people believe that because they cannot see something, nothing is happening. But that is not how my kingdom operates. Seeds grow before they become visible. Foundations are laid before buildings appear. Preparation happens before fulfillment arrives. And many of the answers you seek are developing in places your eyes cannot yet see. You have been looking for visible evidence. I have been working behind the scenes. You have been watching the surface. I have been arranging deeper things. You have been counting days. I have been preparing destiny. My beloved child, there are conversations taking place that you know nothing about. There are opportunities forming that you cannot yet see. There are doors being prepared that have not yet appeared. There are answers developing beyond your current understanding. Do not mistake hidden preparation for inactivity. Do not mistake silence for absence. Do not mistake delay for denial. I am still moving. I am still working. I am still fulfilling my promises. My child, there were times when you almost gave up. Times when discouragement became heavy. Times when disappointment tried to convince you that nothing would ever change. You looked around and saw little evidence of progress. You looked ahead and saw uncertainty. You looked within and sometimes felt weary. Yet you kept going. You kept praying. You kept seeking me. You kept believing even when it was difficult. And I want you to know that your faithfulness has not gone unnoticed. Every prayer mattered. Every act of trust mattered. Every moment of perseverance mattered. I saw it all. I honored it all. And I am using it all. My beloved child, I know there were seasons when you felt forgotten, but you were never forgotten. I know there were seasons when you felt overlooked, but you were never overlooked. I know there were seasons when you felt invisible, but you were never invisible to me. I watched every step. I heard every prayer. I collected every tear. And I've been working in ways you cannot fully comprehend. My child, some blessings take time because they require preparation. Not only preparation around you, preparation within you. There are things I have been teaching you. There are qualities I have been developing. There are strengths I have been building. There is wisdom I have been planting. Because what I am bringing into your life requires readiness. I do not simply want to bless you. I want you prepared to sustain the blessing. I do not simply want to open doors. I want you prepared to walk through them wisely. I do not simply want to answer prayers. I want you prepared for the responsibilities that accompany the answer. My beloved child, trust my timing, not because waiting is easy, but because my timing is trustworthy. I see things you cannot see. I understand things you do not yet understand. I know what is ahead, and I know exactly when each piece should come together. There are moments when what feels like delay is actually protection. There are moments when what feels like waiting is actually preparation. There are moments when what feels like silence is actually alignment. Do not allow temporary feelings to convince you that permanent truths have changed. My promises remain. My faithfulness remains. My love remains. My purpose remains. My child, expectation is important during seasons like this. Not anxious expectation, not desperate expectation. Faith-filled expectation. The kind of expectation that says, I do not know how God will do it, but I trust that He will. I do not know when it will happen, but I trust His timing. I do not see the answer yet, but I trust His faithfulness. That kind of expectation keeps your heart open. That kind of expectation protects your hope. That kind of expectation strengthens your faith. My beloved child, I do not want you to become discouraged by what has not happened yet. Instead, I want you to remember everything I have already done. Remember the battles I brought you through. Remember the doors I already opened. Remember the prayers I already answered. Remember the times I carried you when you thought you could not continue. The God who helped you then is helping you now. The God who provided then is providing now. The God who guided then is guiding now. Nothing has changed about my character. Nothing has changed about my power. Nothing has changed about my love for you. My child, there are blessings approaching that will remind you of my goodness. There are opportunities approaching that will strengthen your faith. There are answers approaching that will deepen your trust. There are testimonies approaching that will reveal my faithfulness. Do not give up before they arrive. Do not surrender your hope before they appear. Do not allow discouragement to convince you that your waiting was meaningless. The process has purpose. The preparation has purpose. The journey has purpose. And the blessing has an appointed time. My beloved child, continue walking faithfully. Continue trusting me. Continue seeking me. Continue believing. Do not let temporary circumstances become permanent conclusions. The story is still unfolding. The answer is still developing. The blessing is still moving, and my hand is still upon your life. One day, very soon, you will look back and realize that even during the waiting, I was arranging everything perfectly. You will see that my timing was right. You will see that my wisdom was greater. You will see that my faithfulness never failed. Until that day comes, hold tightly to my promises, for I am not finished. I am still working, and what I have begun, I will complete. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, I believe God is working behind the scenes in the comments below, and continue watching until the very end of this journey, because the messages ahead will help strengthen your faith, renew your hope, and teach you how to recognize my hand at work, even when you cannot yet see the full picture. Remember this truth today. The blessing you have been waiting for is not standing still. It is already moving toward you according to my perfect timing. My beloved child, listen carefully to my voice today. The season you are entering is not the same season you have been leaving behind. Something is changing. Something is shifting. Something is being rearranged according to my purpose. For a long time, you have focused on what was not working. You have focused on the delays. You have focused on the battles. You have focused on the disappointments. And while those things were real, they are not the whole story. Because even during the difficult seasons, I was preparing you for what comes next. I was strengthening your faith. I was developing your character. I was teaching you wisdom. I was helping you learn to depend upon me. And now, I want you to prepare your heart for a new season. A season of greater growth. A season of greater maturity. A season of greater opportunity. A season of greater favor. My child, when many people hear the word favor, they only think about receiving blessings. But favor is much deeper than that. Favor is my hand upon your life. Favor is my guidance, directing your steps. Favor is my protection covering your journey. Favor is my wisdom helping you make decisions. Favor is my presence opening doors at the right time. Favor is not merely about getting what you want. Favor is about walking within my purpose. And that is what I desire for you. My beloved child, there are opportunities ahead that you cannot yet see. Opportunities connected to your growth. Opportunities connected to your purpose. Opportunities connected to the assignments I have prepared for you. Some of them will arrive in unexpected ways. Some of them will appear through unexpected people. Some of them will emerge from situations you never anticipated. That is why I want you to remain sensitive to my leading. Remain prayerful. Remain humble. Remain teachable. Remain faithful, because I often work through channels that people do not expect. My child, do not enter this new season carrying the mindset of the old season. The old season taught you lessons, but it does not define your future. The old season contained struggles, but it does not determine your destiny. The old season contained disappointments, but it does not cancel my promises. You must learn to release what belongs behind you. Do not bring yesterday's fears into tomorrow's opportunities. Do not bring yesterday's wounds into tomorrow's relationships. Do not bring yesterday's disappointments into tomorrow's blessings. Allow me to renew your thinking. Allow me to refresh your perspective. Allow me to prepare your heart, my beloved child. One reason some people miss new seasons is because they remain attached to old expectations. They expect everything to happen the same way. They expect every answer to look familiar. They expect every blessing to arrive through predictable paths. But I am creative. I am unlimited. I am not confined to human expectations. I can create opportunities where none existed. I can open doors nobody anticipated. I can provide solutions nobody imagined. That is why I ask you to trust me, not merely when my plans make sense, but especially when they do not. My child, there are gifts within you that have not yet been fully developed. There are abilities within you that have not yet been fully utilized. There are purposes within you that have not yet been fully revealed. The season ahead will help bring some of those things into the light, not because you are becoming someone new, but because you are becoming more of who I created you to be. Too often you compare yourself to others. Too often you measure your progress against someone else's journey. Too often you underestimate the value of what I have placed inside you. But my child, I created you intentionally. I gave you unique gifts. I gave you unique experiences. I gave you unique strengths, and I intend to use them. The future I have prepared requires the unique person I created you to be. My beloved child, favor does not eliminate effort. Favor does not remove responsibility. Favor does not replace faithfulness. Instead, favor works alongside obedience. Favor works alongside diligence. Favor works alongside wisdom. That is why I want you to continue growing, continue learning, continue praying, continue seeking me, continue developing the gifts I have placed within you, because preparation and favor often work together. My child, there are people I will bring into your life who will encourage your growth. There are connections I will create that will help move you toward purpose. There are opportunities I will arrange that will help expand your influence. Do not take these things lightly. Treat every opportunity with gratitude. Treat every blessing with humility. Treat every open door with wisdom, because I entrust greater things to those who remain faithful with smaller things. My beloved child, do not fear increase. Do not fear responsibility. Do not fear growth. Many people pray for expansion, but become uncomfortable when expansion begins. They pray for opportunity, but hesitate when opportunity arrives. They pray for growth, but resist the changes growth requires. I do not want that for you. I want you to embrace what I am doing. I want you to welcome my work. I want you to trust my leading, because where I lead, I also provide. Where I guide, I also strengthen. Where I call, I also equip. My child, there may still be challenges ahead. There may still be lessons ahead. There may still be moments that require faith. But do not mistake challenges for abandonment. Do not mistake effort for failure. Do not mistake growth pains for defeat. Every season carries opportunities for learning. Every season carries opportunities for development. Every season carries opportunities for faith. And the season ahead carries opportunities for increase. Increase in wisdom. Increase in faith. Increase in maturity. Increase in influence. Increase in purpose. Increase in peace. My beloved child, I want you to begin thanking me now for what is coming, not because you can already see it, but because you trust me. Thank me for the doors I am opening. Thank me for the opportunities I am preparing. Thank me for the growth I am producing. Thank me for the favor I am releasing. Gratitude strengthens faith. Gratitude protects peace. Gratitude helps you recognize my hand at work, and my hand is at work even now. So lift your eyes, raise your expectations, prepare your heart, remain faithful, remain humble, remain hopeful, because the season ahead carries evidence of my goodness, and I am leading you into it one step at a time. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, "I am ready for God's new season," in the comments below. And continue watching until the end of this journey, because the final messages ahead will help you recognize my favor, strengthen your confidence, and prepare your heart for the purpose I am unfolding in your life. Remember this truth today. The season behind you is preparation. The season ahead is opportunity. And my hand is guiding you through both. My beloved child, draw near to me and listen carefully today. There are moments in life that appear ordinary while you are living them. Moments that seem small. Moments that seem insignificant. Moments that seem no different from countless others. Yet later you look back and realize that everything changed during that moment. A conversation changed your direction. A decision changed your future. An opportunity changed your path. A single act of obedience changed everything. My child, I want you to understand that I am positioning you for such a moment. Even now. Even while you wait. Even while you wonder. Even while you continue through your daily routines. I am arranging things that you cannot yet fully see. I am preparing circumstances. I am aligning opportunities. I am connecting pieces that will eventually reveal a much larger picture. My beloved child, many people miss important moments because they become discouraged during the process. They focus so heavily on what has not happened that they fail to recognize what is happening. They become consumed by waiting and overlook preparation. They become frustrated by delay and overlook development. They become discouraged by obstacles and overlook growth. But I do not want that to happen to you. I want your eyes open. I want your heart attentive. I want your faith active. Because the season you are entering requires awareness. The blessing is not merely about receiving. The blessing is also about recognizing my guidance, recognizing my opportunities, recognizing my timing, recognizing my hand at work. My child, there were seasons when I protected you by saying no. There were seasons when I protected you through delay. There were seasons when I protected you through redirection. At the time, you did not always understand. At the time, you questioned my decisions. At the time, you wished things would happen differently. But now, you are beginning to see pieces of my wisdom, and the understanding will continue growing. My beloved child, there are opportunities ahead that could not have happened during previous seasons. Not because I lacked power, not because I lacked desire, but because preparation was necessary. There were lessons you needed. There was wisdom you needed. There was maturity you needed. There was healing you needed. There was growth you needed. And because I care about your future, I invested time in your development. Never mistake preparation for punishment. Never mistake process for rejection. Never mistake growth for delay. Sometimes the greatest expression of my love is preparation. My child, I know there were moments when you felt overlooked, moments when it seemed others were advancing while you remained waiting, moments when comparison tried to steal your peace, moments when you questioned whether your opportunity would ever arrive. But hear me clearly. I do not forget my children. I do not overlook my promises. I do not abandon my plans. What I have spoken over your life remains secure. The timing may differ from your expectations. The path may differ from your assumptions. The method may differ from your imagination. But my purpose remains unchanged. My beloved child, stop comparing the timing of your story to someone else's chapter. You are not called to live their journey. You are called to live yours. The lessons you need are different. The purpose you carry is different. The preparation required is different, and therefore the timing may be different as well. Trust me enough to stop comparing. Trust me enough to stop measuring your progress by another person's timeline. Trust me enough to believe that I know exactly what I am doing. Because I do. My child, there are blessings approaching that will require courage. Blessings that will require faith. Blessings that will require obedience. Blessings that will require you to step beyond familiar territory. That is why I have been strengthening you. That is why I have been teaching you. That is why I have been building confidence within you. I am not merely preparing circumstances. I am preparing you. And that preparation matters. My beloved child, one act of obedience can change the direction of a life. One decision to trust me can open a new chapter. One step of faith can create opportunities you never imagined. Never underestimate the importance of daily faithfulness. Many people wait for dramatic moments while ignoring daily obedience, but daily obedience prepares you for significant moments. Daily trust prepares you for larger responsibilities. Daily faith prepares you for greater opportunities. The little things matter. The unseen things matter. The private things matter. Because character is built before opportunity arrives. My child, continue being faithful where you are. Continue praying. Continue learning. Continue growing. Continue trusting. Continue serving. Do not become so focused on future opportunities that you neglect present responsibilities. What you do today matters. How you respond today matters. How you think today matters. How you trust me today matters. Everything is part of the preparation. My beloved child, there are moments ahead when doors will begin opening. Moments ahead when answers will become visible. Moments ahead when connections will make sense. Moments ahead when understanding will increase. And when those moments arrive, I want you to remember something. The breakthrough did not begin the day you saw it. The breakthrough began during the days when you were learning to trust me. The blessing did not begin when the opportunity appeared. The blessing began during the seasons of preparation. The answer did not begin when it became visible. The answer began when I started arranging things behind the scenes. My child, I have been working much longer than you realize. I have been preparing much more than you understand. I have been aligning much more than you can currently see. And my work is not finished. The story is still unfolding. The process is still producing results. The preparation is still creating readiness. And the moment I have been preparing you for is drawing closer. So do not lose heart. Do not become discouraged. Do not allow impatience to steal your peace. Trust my timing. Trust my wisdom. Trust my leadership, because I know exactly where I am taking you. And when the appointed moment arrives, you will understand why the preparation mattered. You will understand why the waiting mattered. You will understand why the growth mattered. And you will recognize my hand in every part of the journey. If this message speaks to your heart today, type, "I trust God's preparation" in the comments below. And continue watching until the end of this journey, because the final message ahead will help you step into the future with greater faith, stronger confidence, and deeper trust in my promises. Remember this truth today. I am not only preparing blessings for you, I am preparing you for the blessings. And both preparations are happening at the same time. My beloved child, come close to me one more time and listen with all your heart. You have walked through many seasons. You have faced battles you never expected. You have carried burdens that felt too heavy. You have endured disappointments that tested your faith. You have waded through long nights of uncertainty. You have asked difficult questions. You have shed hidden tears. You have stood in places where you felt weak, confused, and exhausted. Yet through it all, you are still here. And that matters more than you realize, because every step you have taken has been part of a greater story. Every battle has taught you something. Every delay has prepared something. Every disappointment has refined something. Every prayer has built something. And now, my child, I want you to understand a truth that will carry you into the future. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of what I promised. For too long, you have looked at your life through the lens of what went wrong. You remembered the doors that closed. You remembered the opportunities that disappeared. You remembered the prayers that seemed delayed. You remembered the moments when fear spoke louder than faith. But today, I am asking you to see your life through a different lens. See it through my perspective. See it through my promises. See it through my faithfulness. Because when you do, you will begin to recognize that I have been working all along. My beloved child, there were moments when you thought you were falling apart, but I was holding you together. There were moments when you thought you were losing everything, but I was preserving what truly mattered. There were moments when you thought the journey had no direction, but I was guiding every step. You did not always see it. You did not always understand it, but my hand never left your life. Not for a moment, not for a second, not even during your darkest days. My child, I want you to stop living as though your greatest days are behind you. Your greatest days are not behind you. Your greatest opportunities are not behind you. Your greatest growth is not behind you. Your greatest testimony is not behind you. There is still more ahead. More purpose, more wisdom, more peace, more healing, more joy, more evidence of my faithfulness. The future I have prepared is not based upon your past failures. It is based upon my promises. And my promises remain secure. My beloved child, I know there are still unanswered questions. I know there are still situations you do not fully understand. I know there are still prayers you continue to bring before me. Do not allow those things to steal your confidence. Do not allow them to weaken your faith. Do not allow them to convince you that nothing is happening, because I am still working, even now. While you listen to these words, while you continue your journey, while you move through ordinary days, I am still working. The answer may not have arrived yet, but I am working. The breakthrough may not be visible yet, but I am working. The opportunity may not have appeared yet, but I am working. Never confuse unseen activity with inactivity. Never confuse waiting with abandonment. Never confuse silence with absence. I remain faithful. My child, one of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that their future depends entirely upon their own strength. You were never meant to carry that burden. You were never meant to have every answer You were never meant to control every outcome. That is my responsibility. Your responsibility is trust. Your responsibility is obedience. Your responsibility is faithfulness. And as you continue walking with me, I will continue guiding you, step by step, day by day, season by season, until you arrive at the places I have prepared. My beloved child, there will still be challenges ahead. There will still be moments that require faith. There will still be situations that stretch your trust. But you no longer need to fear those things, because the God who carried you through previous seasons will carry you through future ones. The God who provided before will provide again. The God who strengthened you before will strengthen you again. The God who guided you before will guide you again. Nothing about my faithfulness has changed. Nothing. My child, I want you to begin expecting my goodness. Not because life is perfect, not because problems never exist, but because I am with you. Expect opportunities. Expect growth. Expect wisdom. Expect healing. Expect restoration. Expect my guidance. Expect my peace. For expectation, rooted in faith, keeps your heart open to receive what I am doing. My beloved child, as this journey comes to its conclusion, I want you to remember everything I have spoken. Remember that your waiting was not wasted. Remember that your tears were not forgotten. Remember that your battles carried purpose. Remember that your struggles produced growth. Remember that your future remains secure in my hands. Remember that I never abandoned you. Remember that I never stopped working. Remember that I never stopped loving you. Carry these truths with you. Meditate on them. Apply them to your life. Allow them to strengthen your faith when difficult moments come. Allow them to remind you that I am near. Because I am. Closer than you realize. Closer than your fears suggest. Closer than your circumstances indicate. My child, the next chapter is waiting. The next season is approaching. The next opportunity is forming. The next testimony is developing. And I am already there preparing the way. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward with hope. Walk forward knowing that I am leading you. Do not look back with regret. Do not look around with fear. Look ahead with trust. Because the story is not ending. The story is continuing, and the chapters ahead will reveal even more of my faithfulness. If this final message speaks to your heart, type, "Amen, Lord, I trust you with my future," in the comments below as a declaration of faith. And if this entire journey has blessed you, helped you grow spiritually, or encouraged your heart, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. If you feel happy and encouraged by these messages and would like to help this ministry continue spreading God's word to people around the world, you may support the ministry through the link provided below. Most importantly, continue walking with me daily. Continue seeking my presence. Continue trusting my promises. Continue applying these truths in your life. For my beloved child, this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of what I promised. And I will be with you every step of the way, always.